I'm Cheryl from National Rock Review, and I am here with Rick from Mustard Plug. And they are at the Pyramid Scheme in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they are here for their show tonight. We're really glad you're here. They are from Grand Rapids, and so they always make time for us. They come back, put us on the roster.
Right.
We're glad to have you back. You have a relatively new album.
Yeah.
So, you are past your 20-year anniversary.
I think it's 22 years.
How does that feel?
Well, I wasn't there for all 22.
Oh, but that's okay. That's okay.
I guess it's good. I guess it's very strange that a band would last that long.
That's pretty amazing, though, that you have lasted that long, that you've been.
It's ridiculous.
Now, I did actually have lived in Grand Rapids that long, and I know that you are in the punk area of music, and that can be hard to find in the Grand Rapids area.
Yeah, I think when they started, it was definitely
hard to find. So, do you know who some of their influences were?
Descendants, like two-tone ska stuff. I think like the earlier 90s, like stuff like Toasters and Ben Scollin and stuff like that were pretty big influence.
Okay, so those were people that they kind of followed and got started with. And I know that the style of punk rock that you do is a little bit more melodic. Has the brass section in there, the piano, which makes it it's happy. People like it. People want to listen to it. So, which is really nice. I mean, it's definitely how would you label it?
Much more like how the genre?
The genre.
It's just like a ska punk. So like there's like punk elements and there's like clean element where the beat is flipped around basically, and then the melodic sense of the horns.
Right. Well, it's really nice. I like that in there. So now this new album you have was very different because you actually had the fans help you support it.
Yes.
And this is, you use the Kickstarter, which a lot of bands have been going to, since it's very difficult to finance music these days. And you hit your goal.
Yes.
And I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's always the risk element with that.
Right. Well, when we hit the goal, like we set the goal extremely low. Like, where we ended up is like we basically broke even on the whole situation. Like we booked studio time to mix it, and then we were like, all right, this amount of money that is currently the goal is what it costs to mix it. Okay. So like we were shooting low because like we didn't know if like we would hit the goal or how easily we would reach it. You know, like we're just like that. That seems like a good number.
I think that's such a risky thing for bands, though, because they'll put a goal on there, and then it's supposedly, I don't know how that works, but that it's all or nothing.
Oh, yeah, on Kickstarter it's all or nothing.
Yeah, and so...
The other two, it's not. Like Indiegogo and GoFundMe, I think you get the money.
Some of it.
Yeah.
So if you don't make it, then you're kind of out of luck. If you do all this stuff and then you don't get it, you're like, okay.
Well... Like if you don't make it, I mean,
maybe those fans still want to.
Well, if you don't make it, they don't get charged anything with Kickstarter. So like, it's just like, oh, guess we're not doing that. I guess we're gonna have to do it the traditional way.
Right, but that was good, and it was really nice that after all those years, kind of your 20 years, you've been in the business, that all those fans put in, that probably made you feel really good.
Yeah, it was great.
That people still stuck by you and wanted to do that for you. And but you're with Hopeless Records. You're no longer with them. So
we still have records out. Like we still have records. We still have a relationship with them.
Right.
We're no longer.
Now that album was with Hopeless.
The most current record is on No Idea Records.
Okay, so most of your albums were with Hopeless.
Right.
And
majority of them. I think four were the Hopeless.
Okay, so when we go to look for you, we should look
you can look at Hopeless or No Idea.
Right. Okay. So we can look under both of those.
You'll get there eventually.
Okay. Because when I was looking up different albums, I was finding different labels. So we can look under both labels, and we will find you. And I'm sure you've been asked this question a million times. Who came up with the name?
I think it was a harmonica player or some random person. Some random guy that was in the band for like literally a week. Was like making a sandwich and the crusty thing on the top of the bottle of mustard. It was like, oh, that's a great name.
Oh, that's funny.
And he brought it to the table, and I guess that was the best of the potential names. Like,
that's funny.
3 other ones that were equally as weird.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it's a good name. Yeah. Where does Mustard Plug go from here?
I don't know. Hopefully keep touring. I don't know. Hopefully not take 7 years to write another record. that would be a goal. I was just trying to play as many shows as we feasibly possibly can with our current life situation. You know?
Well, I mean, that is usually the state of affairs. Mm-hmm. Bands get older, they get married, they have kids. So you do slow down a little bit sometimes with the touring, and hopefully you can still be out there and do your thing and entertain all the people that were friends and fans, and totally. So and that's good. And of course, we can find you at all the usual haunts.
You probably just Google it. A bunch of information.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's Facebook, and the Twitters and the Facebooks and hopefully when we go on there won't be anything too crazy. It's pretty.
Thankfully, because of the name is unique enough that
there's not 5 mustard plugs.
The people that own the rights to all of the easy handles.
Right.
I think everything is literally like blah 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 / mustard plug or whatever.
So who would you, if you had to get somebody out here today, besides the guys you're going to work with tonight, who, dead or alive, who would you get out here to work with you?
To play with me
yes.
in the band?
Who would you grab to come out and play with you in the band?
D. Boone from the Minutemen.
Okay. Since you're here, it gets to be your choice, right? I always like to ask this question.
So
you get to...
On guitar, D. Boone from the Minutemen. Stuart Copeland on drums, me on bass, and David Yao from Jesus Lizard on.
Oh, that's awesome! And of course you're in there, but everybody else is in the audience. They're in the audience. They're out of there.
Dream lineup.
That is the dream lineup. That's pretty awesome. Stuart Copeland, even he must be around still doing. He's still around doing stuff.
He's producing bands.
Yeah,
he's doing a lot of world music.
Yes. Those guys are still. It's funny how you still see them pop up. Mm-hmm. So, but the album is doing great, and you're financed, which is great, and more than a lot of bands can say now that
we own our stuff.
Yes, you own your stuff.
We don't know anything on the van. The record's paid for. It's great.
And you're all here. You're all living, I assume, in the Grand Rapids area, so it's not too difficult to grab everybody in to go out on tour.
No, aside from life situations,
right?
It's pretty easy.
Then you can get out and do some things.
Yep.
So that's good. And well, I appreciate you coming and sitting down with me and just doing a little catch up with Mustard Plug. With Mustard Plug, because I know that you have. That's a tongue twister to say, Mustard Plug. And but it was very nice of you to come and sit down, and I am looking forward to the show. And you have a good show tonight. You have Coffin Cats from Detroit, so that will be, and you have 2 other bands. I believe they're both local as well.
Campanelli's and SOL.
Yes, so that'll be good.
Yes, should be fun.
Yes, so I'm Cheryl from National Rock Review, and we are here with Rick from Mustard Plug, and I appreciate you sitting down with us.
Oh, anytime.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not the first time, it's not the last time. It's just high time I think you ought to talk it to, because I talk